Yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another edition of CWS WWE Breakdown, and I'm your host, Zach. Should be going solo tonight. I'm recording this just after Friday Night SmackDown ended a little over an hour ago, and tomorrow is Saturday night's main event. A different Saturday night's main event, I guess, in a sense, where it's in the most famous arena of all of sports, Madison Square Garden. We have a few matches on tap, and then I guess a segment or whatever the hell you want to call it. I'll break that down and what I expect that to be with Roman Reigns and Jalen Brunson. But other than that, we have some matches to talk about here. This is basically the last real PLE or whatever the heck you want to call it. It could be a PL premium live event. It's on Peacock. I would like to just say it's like a probably C plus, maybe C minus tier. PLE and Saturday night's main event, basically just leading up to SummerSlam in a few weeks away in Minnesota, August 1st and August 2nd. But we have Saturday night's main event here just before that. We have some matches that could possibly lead to things that could happen at SummerSlam. So we're going to get right into here. I'm going to give my thoughts on who I have winning these matches. So first off here, we're going to start off with the Women's Tag Team Championship match with Paige and Brie Bella, the champions since WrestleMania, against two members of Fatal Influence and Laney Reed and Fallon Henley. And then obviously talk about JC Jane real quick. I thought she should have won tonight against Tiffany Stratton because obviously breaking news that was broke just before SmackDown. Rhea Ripley's just going to have to relinquish the title for a small period of time. I'm still confused about like a interim champion, but I guess from what I'm understanding, whoever wins it at SummerSlam will immediately have to face Rhea Ripley when she returns. I don't know how much to think of that, but still, JC Jane wasn't able to win, and Tiffany Stratton won that. But let's talk about this tag team championship match. We saw a little bit of it tonight with those two, with both of them brawling, which made it a one-on-one match with JC Jane and Tiffany Stratton. But when it comes to this match tomorrow night, I will give props to Brie Bella and Paige. They have been great champions. They've been defending on a consistent basis, and they've had solid matches. I can't deny that whatsoever. But to this match as a whole, I think you need to start establishing Fatal Influence as one of those factions on Friday Night SmackDown. Ever since they've come up from NXT, they've made their impact, and it just seems like WWE isn't on the same trajectory as the fans think Fatal Influence should be. So I think they should win this match tomorrow night. It's that plain and simple. They are a group. I don't know if this is just me. I could see early signs of maybe the Shield with them. I know that's kind of crazy, but each of them as a whole, as competitors, are great. They found a diamond in the rough with Laney Reed, and then Fallon Henley in her own. She can do well. And then JC Jane, the rise she's had over the past few years from where she was in NXT to being the top woman in NXT to now being on Friday Night SmackDown, she can do it all on her own. This group as a whole, as a cohesive unit, they're one of the best, and they get reactions on SmackDown. Like as soon as they came up, they got that pop, and they are a team that's still super young and are going to develop and be the future generation of WWE here. And start it here for them. Give them the tag team championships and start asserting them as a faction on Friday Night SmackDown. I think they need to because at this point, Paige and Bella, like I said, been a great tag team, but it's always and will be the Bella Twins. It's that plain and simple. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, we'll see either way. But at the same time, I mean, I just think Fatal Influence should win this match, maybe from interference from JC Jane, but I think it's going to be a good match. We've seen it here and there, but I think Fatal Influence should win this match just based on the fact they need to start asserting, WWE needs to start asserting this faction as one of the tops, not only on SmackDown, but in WWE. And to do that, you need to start giving them some gold. So give them the tag team championships, and I think they'll win tomorrow. Moving on to the next match, we got two women's matches and two men's matches. This is the second women's matches, a match that just kind of came together based off Lyra Valkyria's heel turn. It's Lyra Valkyria versus Bayley, and to be honest with you, I've heard a lot of people talking about this, and I totally agree with this. This could be really Bayley's last match in WWE. They are not using her the way she should, and we've seen it with Sheamus and the New Day, and then bringing in old people like Baron Corbin, and eventually seems like Enzo and Cass. They're bringing in the veteran guys that they're barely going to have to pay and getting rid of the veteran people that demand the higher contracts that they don't want to pay because of the TKO and cutting budgets and not being able to, they're not wanting to pay these superstars that really they think they can't afford, that they really can't afford, but them doing the stupidity they do is the reason they're in a situation. But besides the point, but don't be surprised when Bayley contract runs out sooner. I think it's September, October soon, where her contract runs out. Don't be surprised if we, after this match, maybe has one more match, or maybe this could be her. I will say this could be her last feud, realistically, in WWE. I think that could happen. We could see some other matches, but I think this will be her last feud in WWE because I think as soon as her contract's over, the WWE's not going to renew. They're going to lowball her on a contract, and she'll be heading her way to AEW to have a feud, or have a feud, whatever the heck you want to call it, with Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks. But for this match as a whole, let's talk about it here. Obviously, the building blocks off of this is these two were a tag team. They were good friends, and then Lyra Valkyria finally snapped, and now is a heel, and she just looks insane right now with like her hair, and she looks like she hasn't showered in weeks the way her outfit looks right now. And honestly, I think she needed a character change. She's ever been a babyface ever since she came up, and I think she can do some good work as a heel. It'll be interesting to see what she does past Bayley. Does she go after like Sol Ruka at SummerSlam for the Intercontinental Championship? I wouldn't be opposed to that because those are two great performers, and I'd be interested to see a heel Lyra against a babyface in Sol Ruka. But when it comes to this match, I'm already talking about Lyra Valkyria for SummerSlam. That just gives me a precursor that I think Lyra Valkyria is going to win this match against Bayley. And like I talked about, Bayley doesn't have much time left. They're not going to have her stack on wins and then end her way out. You've seen it with other superstars when they eventually left. They don't stack wins on them. They make them lose, and then they eventually ride into the sunset, and they leave the company and join another promotion. And I think Lyra Valkyria, the star she's already been the inaugural Intercontinental Champion. She's one of these future people that's going to have to carry the business. I think with like a Bayley like her, it's going to be a great match. I've seen the possibility of maybe Tatum Paxley debut here. I wouldn't mind that. I don't know how it would fit into things, but like obviously I think she'd be with Lyra Valkyria because they have connection back in NXT, and they kind of had that same persona right now ever since Lyra Valkyria has turned heel. But when it comes to this, I think Lyra Valkyria is going to win this. They need, like I said, they need to start asserting these stars. And unfortunately for Bayley, I love Bayley. She's one of the top performers in all of the company, but WWE doesn't view her that way anymore, and it kind of sucks. They did with Sheamus in the New Day. But I think Lyra Valkyria is just going to win. This is going to be a solid match, but I think Valkyria will come away with the win. Moving on to the next match, Danhausen, New York's favorite right now, especially the Knicks, against JD McDonough in a no disqualification match. Obviously, going into this match, it's going to be a comedy match. With disqualification, Danhausen with his curse and stuff like that, being a fan favorite in New York City after the Knicks winning a championship. Obviously, I want to talk about it in deeper depth, though. Dominic Mysterio being on JD McDonough's side. I think this is going to be a precursor, no matter what happens, to Dom versus Danhausen at SummerSlam. But when it comes to Danhausen, obviously a few weeks back he made the phone call, and then tonight on SmackDown he had like a stuffed cat. I think that emphasizes that Karl Anthony Towns will be involved in this match. It's New York, it's the Knicks. They want to get the big pops in this. Jalen Brunson's already involved in something with Roman Reigns, and I think that pulls him away from being possibly in this. And I think Karl Anthony Towns, we already see him on a Fanatics Fest, so he's right there to just go and be involved in this, and he's going to need help either way because although it's no disqualification, the Judgment Day, JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio have the numbers game right now. It's going to be a pure comedy match. That's wholeheartedly, I think, but I'm interested to see with the no disqualification setting how these two perform. JD McDonough is a great performer, but Danhausen obviously is a comedic act, and a guy like JD McDonough, it's going to be interesting to see, but I think at the end of the day, Danhausen's the fan favorite. He's going to walk away with the win here, and it's going to set up a precursor to him and Dominic Mysterio at SummerSlam. I would not be surprised whatsoever, but I think the involvement that's going to help Danhausen will be Karl Anthony Towns without a doubt. But I think it's gonna be the comedic match, the match that makes you laugh, and that's what the purpose of this match is going to be. It's that plain and simple. But I think Danhausen's going to win. He's the fan favorite. They're not going to have JD McDonough, the heel, win there in that environment and get booed. They want Danhausen with a big cheer, standing next to Karl Anthony Towns, get his hand raised, and get the pop from the New York fans. Then I already talked about a little bit. Jalen Brunson and Roman Reigns are, I guess, going to have a segment or just like go out there and acknowledge both of them as the champions. I will tell you this right now. I do not want to see Seth Rollins out there, and I do not want to see Seth Rollins stomping Jalen Brunson, because that will tell me one of two things. If he's stomping, if he just comes out there, maybe with somebody else, then nothing will happen. But if he stomps Jalen Brunson, this is going to be Pat McAfee all over again, like Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. It's plain and simple. We had this discussion all the way back while we were complaining about that. It's the same situation here. 14, 15 years of history between Roman and Seth. Nothing else needs to be added. Had the match at night 2 of SummerSlam, and it's going to be a banger, possibly for the final time with these two at the peak of their careers for the World Heavyweight Championship. I really realistically don't know what this is going to be. That's what I have a feeling it's going to be, because it's what WWE loves to do, and especially with the ticket sales being down as low as they need those celebrity involvements to spike it back up when it really doesn't and just piss people off more, me included. But I just hope it's something as like acknowledge the champions Roman Reigns and then the NBA champion Jalen Brunson to get that comedic pop, to get that pop from the New York fan, that, like it says right there, the King of New York, and in Madison Square Garden to get that pop. And I hope that's all it is. But if Seth Rollins comes out there, maybe with Tyrese Halliburton, obviously Tyrese Halliburton's F Fanatic says he is a big WWE guy. That'd be a pretty cool standoff. But I don't want those two being anywhere near the main event of SummerSlam when it comes down a few weeks down the road. Just have a cool interaction there maybe. And then other than that, that's all that happens. But Jalen Brunson, he can recover his hand. He can just go the rest of his summer off being the champion. I don't want to see him involved in SummerSlam whatsoever. It needs to be Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. Don't need to sugarcoat it anymore. You did it with Cody and Randy, and you saw the results because of it. Now just have Roman, Seth, Night 2 SummerSlam, 14, 15 years of history, and have a banger match to end Night 2 of SummerSlam. But I'm very intrigued to see what happens. I hope it's not that. I hope it's just something else. But you never know with WWE. They love to disappoint, and they love to piss people off. Then when it comes to the main event, the WWE loves doing stuff like this. It's Cody Rhodes and CM Punk teaming up just before their championship match at SummerSlam against Gunther and Sami Zayn. And before that, I was thinking, why are they having this match? It kind of makes no sense, whatever. But then, Adam Pearce, slipped my mind. Raw GM, but filling in for the SmackDown GM, revealed to Gunther that Nick Aldis was going to tell him if Gunther and Sami Zayn can win this match tomorrow night, it will become a fatal four-way match at SummerSlam for the Undisputed Championship. And that's very intriguing to me. I could see this going one of two ways. For me, it's what WWE really thinks is going to sell tickets. Do they think just having Cody Rhodes and CM Punk winning tomorrow night and having a one-on-one match going to SummerSlam will sell tickets, or the Fatal 4-Way? I'm of the opinion I would rather see the Fatal 4-Way because you can see all these guys in one ring. I think it could be completely unpredictable who you have winning because it has CM Punk and Cody, the two guys that WWE loves, and then Gunther and Sami, the unpredictable guys, but could come out and just steal the win. That is more intriguing to me. But thinking in the mind of WWE, I think it's going to be the situation where both teams, will they be able to coexist? That is going to be the storyline of this entire match. And I think the team that's going to be able to coexist more is going to be Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. I can see it right now. Gunther and Sami Zayn are going to piss each other off. One of them is going to cost the other. And CM Punk being the champion, or Cody. I'm going to go with CM Punk to hit the go to sleep 1, 2, 3, and CM Punk and Cody Rhodes win. It will be a one-on-one match for the Undisputed Championship at SummerSlam. I'm hoping Gunther and Sami Zayn win to make it a fatal four-way because there's so much more interesting things we can do with that. But at the same time, I think they just want Cody and CM Punk. They think that's what's just going to sell tickets. It's going to sell something. At this point, with their prices, ain't nothing they throw out there is going to sell tickets. Even they bring back the freaking Rock. And, well, I will say this, though. If this ends up happening, I want to see one of two things happen. I either want to see Gunther face Nick Aldis Magnus at SummerSlam. That needs to happen. Or I want to see Cody Rhodes maybe attack CM Punk after the match, after they win, asserting a heel Cody. I think it's more likely that the nuke hits MSG than either of those two happen because WWE isn't smart with their storylines. But when one of those two things happen and it has to be Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, I can deal with those two winning if one of those two things happen. But if they do win, Sami Zayn, good riddance. It was nice seeing you. Your 9 days as WWE champion were nice, and your assertion into the main event scene was good to see. But you're done, buddy. You're not even getting on the SummerSlam card. You're getting Drew McIntyre. You might face somebody in a street fight, for crying out loud. I would say Jey Uso, but Jacob Fatu, Jimmy Uso got LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys. So you may be done, Sami Zayn. No, I mean they might be Drew McIntyre, and you might have a street fight against him. I wouldn't be surprised. But I think Cody Rhodes and CM Punk are going to walk away with the win just because WWE thinks that's what's going to continue to sell tickets, and they don't want to do the more intriguing path of a fatal four where they could be completely unpredictable and anybody could come out with the win. Just saying it right now. I want Gunther and Sami Zayn to win tomorrow night and make it a fatal four-way, but knowing in the mind of WWE, it's going to be Cody Rhodes and CM Punk so they can end off the night with their two top guys having their hands raised. Maybe a crowd chuck at the end. I'm not expecting it, but we'll see either way. But these are all the matches. There's only 4 matches in a mini segment, whatever the hell that's going to be, between Roman Reigns and Jalen Brunson. We'll see what happens either way. This video probably will be up tomorrow morning for you guys. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys, and peace. Peace out here from CWS WWE Breakdown. Peace, guys.